Hello, everybody. Once again, we are back for the Canadian Pride Curling Championships and Do It on the Ice spiel here at the Royal Canadian Curling Club. We're here for the B final of the Do It on the Ice event. I am Stu, joined by another co-commentator for this game, Mr. Travis Ackroyd. You might recognize that name from the YouTube chat earlier. Travis, you had a lovely morning, I gather?
I did, thanks, Stu. I enjoyed the commentary between you and Brian over my lunch break, and I thought I'd give it a try. I've always been told I have a face for radio, so this should be good.
Well, we both have faces for radio, I suppose. Yeah, we were given the feedback earlier that we need to be more, was it spicy? I believe is what was passed along to Brian. So, I mean, you look at the matchup that we have for this game, and we have Newell's team, Glenn Newell, a fixture here at the Royal Canadian Curling Club, going up against a fistful of dicks, skipped by Bradley Hayward, also a fixture here at the Royal Canadian Curling Club. Starting a little bit late for this draw. It's a 2:55 start, so we've got a few rocks underway now, but we'll have full 8 ends of coverage here for you on the final day of the Canadian Pride Curling Championship / Do It on the Ice Bonspiel.
And already an aggressive start here for the first end. We have a few center guards, a few rocks in play. Glenn's looking for the peel now on David's rock.
Yep, lots of rocks in play. Not a rock out of play yet, Travis. I don't know. What do you think of that? You like going all in, as some might say, balls deep this early in the game, or are you somebody that wants to play it a little bit easy in these first ends?
You know what? It's personal preference. Who was it that used to say? Was it Wayne Middaugh, Colleen Jones? I forget who it was. Used to say, I mean, the ice is the best early in the game, right? So if you're feeling hot, you've been getting some momentum as a team. Sometimes you want to go out there and put some pressure on early and see if you can force a miss out of the opponents.
Yeah, maybe try and jump on it a little bit. Well, you did see in the last game just how well the ice was holding up throughout. So there hasn't been a scrape between draws here. That scrape will come after this draw. But based on what we've been seeing, we've seen some great ice this weekend. So I would expect that remains the same.
Well, I was hearing, were you timing like 15 fives to tee in the 8th end of the last game? That's amazing. That's fall out of the hack ice, which is always nice.
Looks like it's sliding downhill. Speaking of sliding downhill, this one slides down not right up to it, but pretty close up to it here, as the two yellow stones now top 4 and top 8 for Fistful of Dicks.
Now it looks like David's throwing the in-turn. He wants to hit this a little bit high. Do you think the rock goes over top of the red one, Stu? It looks somewhat natural to me. Or
I think so. We get our fisheye cam here out, and it's a little bit tricky to tell, but man, it's got to be close, right?
They're on it. I must admit to our viewers, I don't have the best of eyesight on the best of days, so I'll be relying a lot on Stuart here for seeing who's shot.
I'll do my best. David kept up with that rock in the slide all the way down the ice and made both of them go away, or both of them were moved out of their respective locations. So red, Team Newell, is sitting 2 now. As I also hear the 10th end of the Brier semifinal game in the background.
It looks like a great shot there from Matt Dunstone on his last.
Matty D.
Back to our game, we see the nose hit there.
Yep.
Yellow lying second and third.
Fistful of Dicks.
Otherwise known as Team Howard, depending on how PG we want the broadcast to be this afternoon.
Hey, listen, I'm just reading off the sheet that I got here. I don't make the names. Could be somebody's last name.
There you go.
You know?
And you have a fistful of them.
You got a fistful of them. Exactly.
Wouldn't be Do It on the Ice without it, right?
Better than a bag full.
Better than a bag full of them. Lawrence Mudryk now, Vice's Stones, trying to make the hit.
And he's got the catcher
And
over
roll?
here, if it doesn't roll over top of it. Okay, just short of it.
It looks like it might be red shot. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it looks like something I'd put a stick on, but
Whose
good
stick,
shot
whose stick would you
nonetheless.
put on that, Travis?
Well, you're beside me here. We're just looking here in the Briar semifinal. Brad Jacobs' last raw.
Needs to cover the pin to tie.
Pin to tie. It looks like they're sweeping quite hard on this one. I don't think it's there.
I think this is there, Travis.
I've been known to be wrong before.
Oh, that's
Dunstone with the big win in the semifinal.
Jim-and-Nay Crickets.
I mean, it's been a long road for Jacobs over the last month. I'm sure they'll be excited for the break.
Olympic champions, Briar Schmucks. What do we got going on here? We have Mudryk that's playing the draw around now. Again, it does appear that red is sitting one, so it's barely in view for our lovely viewers here, but you can see there's a red guard that's on just to the left of center line that's quite high up there. So that is looking to get around these corner guards.
Yeah, and I do have to believe that red is shot, or at least they think they are, if Glenn's ignoring it. I like the call to go around the corner guard here, but as you can see, a little wide and a little heavy. We'll see if this one stops. Okay,
It's gonna
just
put
enough.
the brakes on, yeah, just enough. But that's like kind of our motto, right? Just enough.
Just enough, barely enough, not enough.
Not enough.
It always changes.
It always changes. So now Bradley, the head honcho on a Fistful of Dicks, has a decision to make. Do you hit the wide open one, or do you go for a more aggressive play and try and warp one around?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd hit Stu, especially in the first end. You never know. You're going to be in the back eight, which means Glenn will have to hit back and stick around. If you get a miss, then you can wrap around the corner on your last one and get the force. We'll see.
We shall see indeed. This path should be fairly broken in. But we did see in the last game, the Canadian Pride Curling Championship semifinal from earlier, that there were some fresh spots.
Okay.
Got to be careful you don't catch a little fresh spot or anything like that.
What does that mean, Stu? How would you try and manage that if you were playing? Does that mean just as a sweeper making sure the inside person has a broom down always, or how would you go about that?
That's actually a brilliant answer. That was more sophisticated than I was gonna. I was just gonna say hope.
Hope and a prayer. That
Yeah,
always works
exactly.
too. 9 out of 10 times.
9 out of 10 times it works. 60% of the time it works every time, right?
Speaking of Anchorman, I mean, we watched that a few weeks ago and still holds up. A few racy comments here or there, but a good laugh nonetheless.
Stay classy, San Diego. So Bradley makes contact, rolls out, and now we have Glenn Newell, who has been your and myself the nemesis of us in Thursday Night League this year. Goodness gracious.
Gosh, I mean, Glenn's always around in the A League. You know that every year, but this year, him and his team in particular have been on fire. I mean, the full round robin of Draw 3 is not over yet, but they are the clear winners this year in terms of the aggregate miles and away ahead of everyone else. Of course, it always comes down to the playoffs, so we'll see if they can continue that forward, but a great year for the team.
Exactly. Yeah, there's having a team's number, and then there's the level that they're operating on with everybody. It's like they own the phone book at this point, so.
But
Came up a little bit short on that one, though.
A little short. I mean, commentators curse there a little bit from us, but you know Glenn won't be happy with that one. I expect him to be close on the next if he has to draw to the forfeit.
Absolutely, and we do have 4 other sheets of ice in action. There is, right beside us, we do have the C event final going on. which is features Jay Janilla's team, the Thrilla from Janilla, against Hussein. So we do have another great game that's going to be going on there, and then there's a couple of semifinal games going on the other 3 sheets in action. So plenty to watch here this afternoon at the Royal Canadian Curling Club. We have a slightly smaller crowd up here.
Oh, well, I was just about to say, we do clearly have a few other games going on because of the crowd up here. Clearly, you guys have been spoiled with good fans this weekend. This is my first time making it to the club, and I'm very impressed. Like what I see.
Yeah, I can only imagine what it's going to be like later. You get a couple of drinks into everybody, and you got the finals going on. They're going to be cheering loud and proud at 6:15 Eastern Time for the finals here. A light draw from Bradley, and it opens the door here for Mr. Glenn Newell to make the draw. I believe this is the last rock. We can't see the rocks here, but based on Bradley's front ends not coming down to this end, I do believe that this is the last rock.
Is mathing.
Math is
that makes
mathing.
sense here.
Math is hard. I mean, I had to try and spell earlier. Spelling's not my strong suit. Math isn't my strong suit. I don't know. What would you say your strong suit is, Travis?
Well, I think you're going to hear crickets from me, Stu. I still haven't found it. Celebrated my 34th birthday on Friday and still haven't found a single thing I'm good at.
I thought you were 24.
I look it. Thank you. If this curling thing doesn't work out for me, though, I'll have to find something else.
I mean, commentary might be in your future then.
Call me up, TSN.
I mean, you're looking at the booth that's at the Briar, right? Like they're all approaching retirement, right? Except for Joanne.
Let's send in the recording from today, maybe as our audition
resume.
tape, our resume. A great
Glenn Newell
draw.
gets deuced. A great draw indeed, and goes up 2-0 here in the Do It on the Ice B event final. We'll be right back. We're back here for the second end of this B event final. And interesting first couple of rocks that we've seen so far here, Travis.
Yeah, that's for sure. I mean, on Adam's first, he put it top 8, a good shot, not quite on the center line, but close to the middle. Unfortunately, though, on Wyatt's first, the lead for a fistful of dicks, you saw his guard slip into the rings, and Adam was able to nose it. So a bit of switch in tactics here from Bradley. You'll see him try and hit the center rock here and stick around. Unfortunately, a bit heavy end or a bit wide, maybe a combination of both, and it rolls out. Looks like we're set up here for an open end.
So you could say that one of those fistful of dicks let a dick slip away there in the early going, right? Let it slip in a little bit?
Just let it slip in. You heard a bit of a squeal from the other team. Not quite what they were looking for, but...
A little surprising. Oh boy, they do it on the ice spiel. It's fun. Have you ever played in this spiel, Travis?
Well, I've been waiting.
You've been
An
waiting
end
for
and a
your
half
moment.
for you to ask that question, Stu. I actually played last year. I got the honor to curl with Alex Champ's team. He'll be playing
That's
in the
not an honor.
final
That's not an honor.
later today. And yeah, we were fortunate enough to pull it out. We won against Bill Francis's team in the last end. Bill had a relatively routine takeout for himself. Unfortunately for him, fortunate for us, there was a bit of a late swing and we were able to pick up the win. But no, it's a great spiel, a lot of fun for the club, and a lot of fun that it's also here at the same time as the national championship. A lot of great curling happening at Royals this weekend.
Yeah, it's really cool to see, you know, like a fun event like this being run alongside of the nationals, and you get to see, you know, some great curling. Honestly, from both, from pretty much all the teams that are here. But it's cool to have that mix, and so many teams. The club has been so full of life the past couple of days. It's been a very fun one to be around, and it's unfortunate that it's the last day of this. I used to be okay with this going for a few more days.
I mean, tell that to my work. I'm happy to call in sick for the next few days if it means watching more curling. And you know what, I agree with you. I think it's probably good for both tournaments, or both sections, if you will, that it's happening at the same time. I think for those competing in the Do It on the Ice, you know, probably able to see a bit more intensity out of them. You know, you're around the national championship, you probably want to win this a little bit more, and then
giving them something to strive for too.
Something to strive for. That's what I mean.
A lot of the teams that are playing in this event, like one of the teams that we're looking at here, I believe, you know, Newell would have been one of the teams from Royals that was right in contention to go to the national championship. So,
It's true.
so there's definitely some really good teams. That are here in this Do It on the Ice bill. I mean, you alluded to Team Champ. I mean, it's kind of garbage, but it is what it is.
Yeah, there's definitely some controversy with Team Champ playing it in the Do It on the Ice launch field this year. I know there's been some speculation of whether or not Kendra Lilly, you know, used to play for Team Scharf.
Yeah.
Should she have been allowed to curl in this? She's quite the ringer. Evan Lilly as well, her brother. No shortage of good curling from that team. I'm very much looking forward to see them play later this evening.
Yes, that shall. They will also go at 6:15 tonight, so we'll bring you updates from across the sheet. The many sheets that will be on tonight, as more plenty. Wow, I'm really good at talking. More plenty of good curling to come.
Back to our game here on Sheet C. Not the most exciting second end we've ever seen, but again, Bradley is looking to likely blank this end. The open hit here called on his Vice's Rock. Wouldn't mind to see a bit of a roll away here. Anything you can do to make it easier on Bradley's last. Less room to roll is typically the play when you're looking to blank an end, but looks a little wide here. They're curling it to try and make contact. It doesn't look like they're going to.
A little bit of air between that one. So now Newell is going to look to split the rings, and this goes from a potential blank to a potential force. But of course, need to make these shots first. We can't count our chickens before they hatch.
We've been known to do that one or two times before.
That we have.
So Lawrence is throwing the intern to the wing here. He'll be looking to try and even up the rocks as much as possible, create some separation on the far side of the house so that Bradley and his team don't have a double. Still looks quite a bit out there to me. You can see that David's on the inside trying to make it curl while they go for distance as well.
Yep, and you see Lawrence was calling out hand signals there to indicate where it looks like that rock is going to go. I didn't get a time on that. I have my microphone in one hand and a slice of pizza in the other one. But so I don't have the stopwatch with me right this second. But maybe speeding up a little bit, catching them a little bit by storm here.
I'm pulling out my stopwatch here. I'll lend you a hand, Stuart, because I know the Ryan Ginger is probably the next thing you would grab over the stopwatch.
You're not wrong.
I'm a little surprised here at the call from Bradley. Another option would have been to try and play the double. You've been chasing your blank all end. It's still alive here. Even if you don't make the double, you could have hit and roll on top for the freeze, but they tried the straight freeze as well, and it looks like it's slipping, just out of the rings.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Been there, though, for sure, and done that. It's, goodness gracious.
Especially, you don't often want to be light on those freezes. Set up a guard against yourself when the other team's trying to steal. I timed at 13 seconds on that, obviously a bit heavy. It'll be interesting to see what some of the draws to the tee line are looking like later on.
I think we do have somebody tuning into our broadcast here. He's creeping around behind me. We do have Travis and I. We lovingly throw stones at our Thursday night skip, Alex Champ. So we're catching some flack on that, but don't worry, he'll get over it.
And if he doesn't, well, more fun for us anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So where is...
Okay,
sorry,
go
Stu, I
ahead.
didn't mean to interrupt you. I was just going to ask you, where do you think Glenn's trying to have this rock end up for him?
I think he's got to be throwing it top 8, right? Put one top 8, so if Bradley does step up and make the double, it's just a short little run back. They really need this to curl, though.
Yeah, they've been caught a few times now in this spot. It doesn't seem to be curling quite as much as they expect it to, at least not early, but we're getting some finish now, and it looks like it's going to be close to the freeze almost.
Might let Fistful of Dicks off the hook, though. A little bit deep. It would be. You could do a sneaky little bump here. Kind of separate those reds a little bit. Really make your yellow difficult to remove. Not sure what weight Bradley has decided on this one, though.
It looks like to me that maybe it's ice for a control or a board weight hit. I mean, it looks like this is an easy shot, but you know what? The best result is really quite precise. I think what you'd love to see here is for Bradley to hit the rock a hair high on the intern side, and what you'll see is that although his shooter will spin, so will the back red a little bit. And you want to try and keep your yellow as close to nose as possible so that it makes it difficult for Glenn to remove us in his next one.
Absolutely.
It depends on which end, right? I would say like 1 and 2 points.
How's the pizza, Stu? Can we get a shout out to our sponsors, Pizziolo?
Sponsors, I'm pretty sure this was paid for, so no. We were talking about Mary Brown's earlier. Mary Brown's didn't send us anything. I mean, I don't know how they weren't watching the game from earlier. As Bradley makes the nose hit on that, gets rid of a single rock, but not able to get both of them to go.
And really close to the shot that we were describing. You can see it curled up just a little too much at the end so that the rock that he was hitting spun off the back red, and now it should be relatively simple for Glenn to remove on his last rock here.
Relatively simple, yes. Just hit the rock, right? Easier said than done sometimes, though.
Honestly, most of the time. A righty's in turn. If you're going to break your wrist, it's known to happen on this side.
We've never done that before, no.
I don't think I've ever popped an in-turn in my life. Typically miss these a little narrow, and that's not the side you want to do it on here. But you can see with Glenn, much better than you and I.
Yes,
a little
there's a
wide
reason
here.
why he's
That's
beat us every time this year. So
that's the way to miss this. David's curling up. It looks like it's going to stick around, and it's a great shot.
that's a great shot. Yeah, this is a tricky shot for Bradley now. Throwing against 3. Looks like he might be able to nose that red and make the double to score 1. And I think that's how he's. I think that's the direction that he's leaning in.
Well, what a change of events in this end, really. Just that one miss on the nose hit, and you can see here Newell looking to force a fistful of dicks to 1.
Anytime you can force a fistful to just take their single.
Well, I don't know about you. I mean, 1 dick, that doesn't sound like a fistful to me, at least not in my case.
That's
So
true.
Maybe not. Be looking for a couple next end.
Yeah, they're not really living up to their name. Just a single one right now. Right now they have 0 in there. So hopefully by the end of this rock, we'll have one yellow in there. Bradley has released it.
It looks close.
It does.
Bradley's calling off on this one.
Might need to curl up just a smidge.
Really close.
Close.
Is it going to spin?
Oh. It just hung. It looked like it was curling, but
it looked
just
good the whole way.
It just stayed wide, so it's going to be a steal of 2 for Newell's team. It's a 4-0 game after 2 here. We'll be right back. And we are back. Third end here of the Do It on the Ice B event final between Glenn Newell and a fistful of dicks. It is Newell's team up 4-0 right now after 3, and they are hitting the rock in the house for Bradley Hayward's team.
And Stu, this looks a little bit like deja vu to me. What you saw in Adam's first, another great shot. He put it top 4. Unfortunately, Wyatt on his corner guard slipped into the rings, and so that allows Adam to hit on his second here in line 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you're down, you definitely want a lot of rocks in play. Try and junk it up a little bit. Bradley's going to look to do that.
A bit of a snarky comment here from our skip, Alex Champy. Texts the commentator's booth and says that all 8 viewers are loving our feed today. You know what, Alex? I'm going to believe that wasn't sarcastic and that you're supporting your teammates. And just a shout out here to everyone watching today. We hope you're enjoying it. We certainly are.
Yeah. We hope everybody is getting a fistful of their own dicks today, and except for Alex. Quite rude.
corner freeze called here on the wide rock. It looks like we're just in between the two of them, though.
Just in between.
Great weight there, though.
Absolutely. And we have Roger again in the chat here. Roger from Montreal. Is it possible to get an update on the other finals, the E final on Sheet E? Oh, lucky for you, Roger. They just put up the score, and it is a 1-1 game over there after 2 ends on Sheet E. We'll try and keep you updated on that. We apologize. We thought it was only C and D sheets that had a final going on, but you know, we're probably just not doing a good job of reading the schedule.
It's true, Stu. And what I can see here, they also haven't updated it on our
You know what
sheets.
I bet we need to refresh that page.
That would probably help. IT 101 here. If this doesn't work, I'll turn the computer on and off.
Oh, that means our stream would. Oh, it worked.
There we go.
The
We've
Curl
got
Scouts
Curl
and
Scouts.
B Room 1221. Roger, do you know the meaning behind B Room 1221? If you do, let us know. We'd love to hear that story. If that's the team you're cheering for, if it is indeed Curl Scouts, then might not be able to help us there. Back on our sheet, Team Newell did make the open hit, and we're kind of in a back and forth open end again of hits. I'll tell you what, Travis, the early going of this game, I don't know if the time clock is going to be an issue. These two teams are flying along.
Yeah, you're right, Stu. We started a little late, so we weren't sure. We knew it was still an hour 40 until the bell, but weren't sure how long this game was going to go. But a lot of the play has been in the house the last 2 ends, so they've definitely banked a lot of time, and it looks like we're continuing the same way here in the third end. Not a lot of ice here on the intern takeout call for David. They must be throwing a bit of weight and expect it to run straight here. Adam can likely hold it on the sweep.
I believe you're right, and he's going to need to hold it. He is, just off of it now, just tickling it a little bit. Oh, wow. There you go.
Shot.
There you go. Nice and spread out, those 3 rocks as well.
You could see his shooter there pushed the rock to the back of the forefoot, and so it doesn't look like there's a blank alive here. No guards in play, so Bradley's going to call the freeze. Very precise on the shot. Not only do you need to get the weight right, but you have to ideally have the right line as well to avoid being able to remove it.
It's a difficult shot. It's very, very, very precise, and if you make a very precise one, then you could be in good shape to try and generate your deuce. But I'd love to see. I would love to see this Fistful of Dicks team try and get those corner guards up next end. I think it's difficult to generate your multiple scores when you don't have your guards up. And you know what? This might not be the worst outcome. Right? That's a tricky guard to get rid of if you're Newell, right? There's some rocks there that you can jam on, and now you're forcing play around the center line.
It's true. Definitely not shot A that they were trying there, but definitely the pro way to miss it. As we were saying, it doesn't look like it's going to be a blank, so put up the guard. Let's try and hope for a miss here on Lawrence's draw, and you might get something going. Expect Lawrence to be close here, though. Although the sweepers are staying back, they probably think it's a little heavy.
Based on the hand indication from David Tran, I think that would be accurate. As this is going to slip behind the tee line now, and now all of a sudden, if you're Bradley here, you're kind of liking what you're seeing. You might be able to build a little bit of a pocket there and generate a deuce, generate a multiple score, which is going to be big. That would get them back into this game.
And Roger has updated us on the meaning of B Room 1221. You know what? I'm actually very disappointed in myself that
Yeah,
I didn't
me
pick
too.
up on the heated rivalry reference. Definitely has hit society by storm over the last few months. I know what I was doing over the Christmas holidays, but very much looking forward to season 2. Sometime next year is what I hear.
You have the insider scoop on that, right?
Well, they have asked me to cast, they've casted me for it, so in the process of eating some lean ground beef every meal and hitting the gym, but
Do you think you can get your buns up to snuff to be on display there?
well, I don't know for certain, Stu, but I can tell you one thing. I'm playing the right sport to do it. If you look around the ice today, you can see a lot of snuffed buns. Definitely the lunge position doesn't hurt for these men out here today.
And our view high atop the ice is, I guess, giving us a prime viewing spot, right?
Speaking of prime viewing spot here, we can see them on the carve to try and get Lawrence's rock to curl. A little heavy, so it comes to his back red in the forefoot, and another draw opportunity here for Hayward and his team to lie to.
And what were we saying? We were like, oh, you really want to junk it up when you're looking for a big score, and you know, we do have a bunch of junk behind the tee line here that Bradley and Fistful of Dicks team is going to try and take advantage of.
A lot of junk behind that trunk for sure. I don't think Newell and his team, after the first few rocks to this end, thought they'd be in this position, but Hayward and his rink are definitely smiling here. It looks like this is close.
Need it to curl a bit. Looks maybe a little bit heavy. A little bit heavy, sticks around, but does give Newell an opportunity now to try and lock one on there.
They're really trading them back and forth this end, and it looks like that out-turn spot for the righty is running quite straight and quick right now. Maybe we'll take a timer on this one to see what we're getting, but most people have been missing heavy here, not using their sweepers.
It's important to use your sweepers. They're there for a reason. You want to blame them when you miss a shot, so you got to try and use them to help you make a shot at some point. I like to blame the sweepers.
I blame the sweepers even when I sweep, so makes sense to me.
April 2027, Roger tells us. Roger really has the inside scoop.
Looking across the other sheets here, most people are also in the midst of their third and some very close games across sheets B, D, and E. On sheet A, we do have a bit of a runaway early, with yellow leading 5-0 after 2 ends. We'll try and keep you posted as much as possible.
I was so caught up in your end update, I forgot to stop the stopwatch.
Me too, and I had it open here. I even mentioned it, and it looks like it was a little light, though.
Yeah, it was. Top 4 for Glenn Newell, but you know what? Not a bad spot. They are second shot right now, and it's going to be difficult for Bradley to get another one in it. This is going to have to be a really good draw if to make this, and even still, even if he makes a great draw, Glenn could have a short little tap on his next.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I think you have to give some thought here to what you're going to leave Glenn on his last. I think going directly behind the red and freezing to the back red is not necessarily the best outcome, even though you'd be lying 2. You'd leave a pretty routine tap for Glenn to freeze in the pocket. Apologies for my lisp as I suck on the ice cube for my beverage.
Oh my heavens. Sounds like somebody's out of beverage right now. So this is Bradley's first rock here in the third end. I believe that he is looking to freeze onto that red one that we can see is just on the back button. As we have Newell's team up 4-0 against Bradley's Fistful of Dicks team. It It looks a little wide right now, Travis, but I bet you that this rock is going to come back
I
and
think so.
warp over at the end.
It looks like it's trying if he has the right weight. Bradley throws a bit less handle than some players, so you'll see a bit of finish late, but this looks like
Never came
just not enough.
It looked like it was really trying to come back, but sometimes you just can't make it come.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I hear. Typically, mine tend to overcurl, let's just say that.
Okay.
Don't have any problem coming, but maybe just a pound or two heavy on that one. Looks like the ice is very weight sensitive again, especially in this out-turn side for the right-handed player.
So now if you're Glenn Newell here, you're playing the tap, I believe, right? Trying to make that tap, leave your shooter right there, and give Bradley a really difficult shot with his last here in the third.
What do you think, Stu? I mean, how much would you be trying to move that yellow? I mean, probably two camps. You could argue you want to almost freeze to it to guarantee your steal, but if Glenn's able to remove this from the forefoot, there's a world in which he's lying 2 on this one and puts a bit more pressure on Bradley and the team.
Yeah, it would be tempting, certainly, to try and bump this and give this a good little tap. And given the ice that he's throwing, it seems like that might be what he's doing.
Well, it might hit it at the wrong angle.
Although we just saw Bradley's run a little bit straighter. And that is a trend that we saw a little bit develop in our game earlier. We did see the ice straighten out a little bit. As we have a 14-8 here, hog to hog, so that's going to be just through weight. But,
Taps back as red, but it looks like yellow is still shot. I think the saving grace for Newell is it looks like pretty tough for Bradley to get in there for a second shot. I don't think he has room past the top red, or if he does, he'd really have to squeak by and tap it back. It might be there.
might be. That's a tricky shot. Bradley looking at maybe the straight draw on this side, which I think I like on the other side. You know, it looks like that red rock is going to be behind T-line, or it is slightly, it's on the T-line, but it's more behind T-line than it is in front of T-line is what the point that I'm trying to make and struggling to say.
I also think there's a bit of risk here, depending on the weight you throw. I mean, obviously you're looking for perfect T-line here, but if you ever tapped your yellow a little bit high side, there's a risk you could give up the steal. I think although the risk of tapping up the red is there on the out-turn side, there's a little bit more room for error.
He threw it away.
And we stand corrected there. So that's going to be 1 for a fistful of dicks in the third end.
1 for a fistful of dicks. It is a 4-1 game here. We'll be back for the fourth end in just a minute. a great couple of opening stones here for the Bradley Hayward team. Looking to steal, and a couple of center line guards is certainly a good start to do that. Those guards put up by Wyatt Slurp. Glenn Newell's lead, Adam Johnson, has tried to come around those two staggered center line guards and puts it back button here, about half open, maybe a little bit more than half open. Bradley is going to try and use that to his advantage and their team's advantage, and try and freeze on top of it. Where we have Jason looking for an update on sheet D. Over there on sheet D, just let me double check here. It is
it's not always like obvious.
the Janilla team up 4-0 after 3 ends over there. 1 point for Janilla in the first, followed by a steal of 2, and a single steal is how they got there. That is over the Hussein team. And I know that Roger was looking for updates on sheet E. It is on the scoreboard. It is still a 1-1 game, but they have not put up the score yet for the third end. So they're playing the fourth end. No idea who has hammer. I believe that yellow has hammer. So that would indicate that a potential red steal or maybe a blank there, but we'll keep you update on when that is ready for us to see. On our feature sheet, though, it is David Tran making some granite move. And they now sit 1 in the back of the 4, or they still sit 1 in the back of the 4-foot. Again, Bradley's team is going to try and freeze onto it and really apply some pressure here. It could be a big shot here for a fistful of Dick's second, Gregory Pecker.
I think it's going to end up as
Looking for a little bit of finish at the end of this. This is a great shot there from Gregory. Really applying the pressure now to Team Newell. Our refreshments have arrived.
Sorry, everyone. I had to step away on very important business there for a second, but have returned in the middle here of the fourth end.
Leaving me unsupervised with the stream. It's a bold strategy, but we survived it. We survived it.
Oh, yes. I've been unsupervised on the stream since I was around 12.
David Tran with the attempted run back here. This isn't all that bad, though. You were able to clip the yellow-red combination and get some separation, which is really key in all of that. It affords you a little bit more room to try and get rid of that yellow rock now, potentially later on. But of course, Bradley Hayward and the Fistful of Dicks team is going to try and throw up a guard to prevent that from happening. The Fistful of Dicks vice here is Heath Pleasure, and he is going to be throwing this guard attempt. Looks a little bit wide right now. They might need to curl this over at the end.
I think if you think it's coming in, you might want to try and curl this. Try and lock it on the nose, but it's going to come a little bit short of the freeze. A little heavy on the guard attempt there.
And that's one of the things that we've seen a lot this weekend. It's, the ice is very quick, and it's been consistently quick. So That does present some challenges and adjusting from what you typically might be used to.
So calling probably the hit and roll here, do you think, or the doubles do? It looks like those rocks are lined up to jam on the back red. Mm-hmm. You might see the yellow squirt out to the side if you hit it right.
Makes the hit and roll. That's not a bad outcome, but it's going to give Bradley and his Fistful of Dicks team an opportunity to make that guard again, and perhaps make this one. If they make this one, it'll be a little bit more challenging for Glenn and their next shot.
Did you? I missed it here. Did you happen to see exactly where Bradley wanted it? How deep would you go here, Stu?
I think you probably want this about a halfway guard. Right now, we see both those guards are pretty tight. Halfway to tight is kind of probably where you want it, I would think.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Would you ever? I mean, one thing another team might consider is whether or not you try and bring one top four and bury it, but
that's a really good point, too.
Very precise, obviously.
Especially considering the scoreboard, gotta try and take advantage of that.
Just hanging a little wide and heavy here again.
The rock is not respecting Bradley's request for it to slow down and stop until Travis, I'm going to be honest with you, that's about the worst spot that rock could land.
It's not great. As you can see, the yellow's frozen to the corner of the other yellow, so Lawrence can nose this or hit it anywhere high, and the two should fly pretty easy. I think the question will be, where does the shooter stay? If he hits it right on the nose like Glenn called, it will leave the hit and roll back for Bradley and his team. So if I were them, I wouldn't mind rolling away here. You would leave the draw, but Bradley and his team have to make it.
Absolutely. That's a really good point. Even if Newell does make this double, couldn't leave a shot right back for Bradley to once again apply the pressure.
And I just want to make a quick shout out to Georgia, who's a new face at the bar downstairs. She was complimenting us on our Ryan Ginger orders here, and she's definitely taken a liking to us because they taste a little heavier than one might think.
Heavy pours from Georgia. All right. Emily and Jose, if you're listening, take note. That could go one of two ways. I have a feeling if they were watching, then there may be a discussion with us.
There would be a drought on Thursday nights, let us say.
Yes. Gentlemen, you are cut off. So Bradley's going to try, and it looks like freeze. This could be the ice for the tap, though. And I think I really do like the tap. If you bump this a couple of feet and build that wall, then could be a really good setup for you.
I agree with you, Stu, and I think the tap gives you a little bit more room for error. You can either tap it on the nose and create that pocket at the back, but even if you happen to over-curl here a bit and roll behind the guard, that's not too bad either.
Absolutely. I can tell you that on sheet E between B room 1221 and the Curl Scouts, they had not hung the score yet. It was indeed a steal of 3 for the red team, which is per B room 1221. So that is your sheet E update. A lot of yellow rocks in play right now, though, for Curl Scouts. So they could just be taking big swings at each other right now. And that is the E event final.
And in the Hussein Janila game on sheet D, you can see that so far it's largely been all Janila. He's leading 4-3, or 4-0 rather, after 3. Although Hussein is lying 1 in the back of the forfeit, you have a draw here coming up from Janila to try and sit on it and cut down the scoring area. Indeed.
In our feature sheet, we do have Bradley did make the tap. Left his rock open though. So Newell is going to try and get rid of it, but not the easiest way to sneak this rock through is the afternoon crowd at Royals here is starting to get a little more rowdy.
We're getting excited here. You can see on sheet A, Red is down 6-0 after 3, but a great draw to the 4-foot to lie one behind a bunch of corner guards has gotten the team and the fans here on their feet.
Got them right where they want them.
Amen, brother.
Right where you want them. Hey, one shot can completely turn it around. What is that game on A? It's an event semi, I believe.
Let me look here for you.
Oh, it is the G event semi.
Yes, we've got team field and team ends with benefits here. I must admit, I'm not familiar with either team, so give us a second here and we'll try and figure out
Well, I think
who's
Ends
who.
with Benefits has the matching shirts on that conveniently say Ends with Benefits on them. There, Travis.
Yes, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Oh,
I
as we
appreciate
see
it.
a flash on our feature sheet from Glenn Newell. That's unexpected. Glenn, if you could
That's
save
not-
some of those for the regular season against us, it would be much more appreciated.
And that's not something you typically see from Glenn. I must admit I missed it. Was he a bit wide
He
with
was.
the intern? I mean,
Just tickled that yellow one over a little bit, and this is going to give Bradley an opportunity now to, again, really apply the pressure to Glenn. And you know what? When sometimes anybody can fall down, they can have a bad end and fall behind, by a few points early in the game. At that point, your mindset shifts to, I just got to keep applying pressure to these guys. And the Fistful of Dicks team has done a really good job this end of consistently applying the pressure.
they really have. Again, I missed the call here on Bradley's. Are you thinking a tight guard here would be perfect?
I think he's going right in.
Okay.
I'd be tempted to go, right in, top 4, just kind of Christmas treeing those two yellows, but
Oh yes, I can see here now indicated on the broom. Even if he chisels off on the inside here, that's pretty good. I like that shot as well.
looks a
Tap the
little
yellow to
hot.
a freeze. I'd be close. Needs to sit down.
Does it settle in? It's hard to tell. We don't have the overhead on this. But we can take a look at what they're indicating. The top yellow is for sure not shot.
Interesting here, Glenn seems to be lining up the hit on the yellow, which to me would imply that he doesn't think he's shot. I think the only reason you would hit this yellow or consider it is if you weren't shot, correct? Otherwise, I think there's a little bit too much risk to be taking on at this point in the game.
I think this call, well, you know what you're doing, don't you?
I'm in Glenn's head. It looks like now he's switched to the out-turn draw. He has a pretty good piece of the 4-foot here that he can draw to, but has to be the perfect weight.
Yellow, that might be touching red, but you can't tell from this perspective. Yeah, the one that's closest. Well, you can't tell.
Georgia must like us. That is indeed a heavy 4.
Sweet Georgia.
Sweet Georgia.
Needed not.
All right, last rock of the 4th end here for Glenn Newell. It's a 4-1 game. We believe that Newell is sitting 1 red right now, although they did take a minute looking at it. But it does appear that they're drawing for 2 right now.
Even if Glenn doesn't make this, you have to think that a fistful of dicks is scratching their heads a bit and thinking, what do we need to do here to get 2? The math isn't mathing to keep getting 1 and forcing the team to 1. You're going to have to generate some offense here in the 5th end with only 4 ends to go.
I kind of think they're going to need a fistful to get back into this game. Newell and the Sweepers
They like it. This is great.
walking it right in. Adam Johnson and David Tran, and does appear to be, I don't know.
It looks like that one didn't curl enough. They were pretty nonchalant with the sweep the whole way down. They could have had the outside sweeper carving that for distance a little earlier.
Think we could see a four-way measure here, Travis?
Oh, I think we'll see a four-way. I'm not sure if they're going to measure, though.
Oh, dear. They are looking...
I think the rule of thumb has to be, although he's going to correct me here, if you're looking this many times, you might as well throw a stick on it.
I
right?
believe so.
Especially at this point in the game. If you give up one here, you're down 4. Otherwise, a steal of 1 is huge to bring you within 2.
Back yellow, I guess it wasn't touching the rail.
Based on this look, I don't know if it's close at all, as Fistful of Dicks' second Gregory Pecker was looking at those and giving us a smile. But we'll stick you with coverage. We'll stick with this measure.
Yeah, there's a little hole.
This is where we need the TS zone overhead shot, and that measure looks like it just about broke. That is going to be 1 for red as Team Glen Newell takes a 5-1 lead after 4 ends, and we'll be right back. We are back for end number 5 of the Do It on the Ice Bonspiel watching our B event final right now between Team Glen Newell and Team A Fistful of Dicks. I'm Stu, joined in the commentary chairs by Mr. Travis. And it's been an interesting first 4 ends.
It has, a lot of different ends. We saw it start a little bit more open early on, but the last few ends have definitely had no shortage of rocks in play. At this point in the game, you would tend to think that favors Hayward. He's trying to generate a bit more offense here, but we know Glenn and his team they don't shy away from rocks in play. I would say he typically trends towards the draw if he's going to pick a shot. So expect, even though he's up 5-1, I think we'll have an exciting last 4 here.
Yeah, I think so. And we've seen the first 4 ends of this 5th end right now. Did I say 4 ends? 4 rocks. Goodness gracious. The first 4 ends of this 5th. I did it again. The first 4 rocks of this 5th end have all been very much clustered around this center line. So rocks in play, as you said, that's what Bradley wants to see. And they're really going to be trying to go hard for a 3-ender here.
For sure. And on sheet B, for those that are watching, we have another G event semifinal. It's Nagel versus the Dildo Boys, tied up after 2, or it looks tied up. It could be 2-1 as well. They've got the score hanging between 2 points there, so it's tough to tell. But this end really was all Nagel until a great few shots completely switched the momentum. You can see now that the Dildo Boys are lying 2, and their skip is looking to make a tap of a guard into the rings to lie 3. So this could be a big end shaping up. We'll keep you posted.
Meanwhile, we did have some asking for an update on sheet D, which I believe is our, what event final is that? Is that the C event final, I think?
We've got Hussein and Janilla, and it is the C event final.
And Janilla stole another point and are now up 5-0 after 4 ends. So good start there for the Thrilla.
And definitely some good shots in that end from Jay. It looked like Hussein was setting up to at least score, but some great draw weight again from Jay, and results in another steal on the board.
And then finally on sheet E, that is the E event that's going on there. We'll keep you updated on that. They have not posted the 4th end yet. So they are playing 5 right now, have not posted the 4th end, but based on my counting ability, I can tell you that yellow did score, and yellow was down 4-1 playing 4. So we'll give you an update on that one when we have it. On our feature sheet, though, it is David Tran that is throwing second stones and looks to be trying to come around right now, settle another one into the house, and he does so. So Newell is sitting 4 right now.
This is not the position you want to be in if you're a fistful of dicks. Typically when you're down 4 and you're having to play peels or runbacks, it's not ideal, but obviously they're looking here to open things up so that they have a few setup shots they can play later on in the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Fistful of dicks here, looking to... Are they trying to run theirs in, maybe? No?
That's what I thought, but I thought they were playing the outside yellow with big weight, but they've peeled the center guard, which is also a good result. You will see here Glenn asked Lawrence to put up a center guard.
There's some really good names in this Do It on the Ice spiel, I will say. This is something that Brian asked me in the first game, Travis. Of all of the names that we have here on this, what do you think is your favorite name?
You know, I must admit I'm biased, Stu. I was listening to your and Brian's coverage earlier, so I heard some of the good ones. I do like I Swept With Your Wife. I think that was a good response. I'm going to peek here through the draw and see if anything else tickles my fancy. But I have to admit, maybe it's also biased because we're covering this game. I think A Fistful of Dicks is also quite classy. I think it strikes the right balance between kind of igniting a few different senses for me.
Igniting the senses. I like that. Oh dear.
They're looking to curl this rock. just gets by the red, and they're peeling the yellow. I'm
So
not
they-
sure that's the result they wanted.
They must have been trying to peel the that center line red. We were too caught up in thinking of our favorite team names, so
We apologize.
got a little bit distracted. I'm also still looking for that score on sheet E, but they are like halfway through the end over there. So let's get that score updated, guys. Nope. The club manager here, Bill McAnally, is now making his way down sheet F, the empty sheet F, and it's a stern walk from Bill. Maybe he's going to put up the score himself.
I'm not sure, Stu. I don't think this can mean anything good. I have heard rumors of a few double touches on sheet E earlier today.
Pokes?
Apparently, you're not allowed to touch the granite after releasing the rock.
Allegedly.
And,
Those are international rules. We're not in international waters here, so.
turns out, looks like Bill just forgot something on the far end, playing with the hacks now.
Yeah, he walked down, put one hack in, and is now walking away. We'll keep you updated on this developing story.
And here we're seeing the pivot in end number 5, all Newell, all pressure this end. And you're seeing now that instead of trying to make the peel, Bradley has switched to the out-turn draw. This is really all or nothing. If you make it, you're in good position to potentially score a multiple, but if you miss this here, it's not looking great.
Yeah, this is what the what you might call do or die. This is a big one right here.
Sweepers on it.
Need to make sure your yellow's in a good spot, and yeah, the sweepers are on it here. They can sweepers can drag a rock a long way on this ice. So, and they appear to be doing it right now. Like they're just walking this thing down.
The line looks great if it's there.
Might need a little bit of curl at the end, but that's a great sweep from the Fistful of Dicks team, and does leave it open. Didn't quite get any of it tucked in behind. But you know what? This is a tricky little shot for the Newell team. You cannot be wide on this, otherwise, my heavens, you could be in trouble.
It's true. I mean, the sweepers were on that from start to finish, and even though it's not shot rock, it's in good position. So you can see or hear that Glenn is thinking he has to deal with it, even though he's lying too. But as you mentioned, Stu, if you're anywhere wide on this, trying for the hit, it could jam on the back red.
Absolutely. I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I'm not throwing this rock right now. Actually, this is I was going to say, if it's an in turn, I know that I'm definitely not putting it out. But an out turn could be trouble. Could be trouble.
Capital T.
Capital. How do we spell trouble again?
I'm wondering here, I mean, playing the scoreboard, you're always thinking hit, but you're lying too with a bunch of center guards. You could also guard this.
I don't
and
know.
say to Bradley, I mean, come at me here.
Come at me, bro. Man, yeah, that could be tempting to do. You are still sitting 3.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even realize it was 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So is the juice worth the squeeze here?
I'd be tempted to guard on that side. I mean, you're going to force Bradley to make the in-turn draw if you were to guard on your next. But it looks like Glenn's more comfortable with the hit. If he is able to nose this or roll a sliver inside, definitely a good result.
Do you think this is an aggressive ice call with center of the rock, or do you think this is the conservative ice call? You know, he doesn't need to, he can hit this well inside and definitely don't want to hit it outside.
You definitely don't want to hit it outside, but I think there's not a large room for error here. You don't want to tick that top 12 rock either and open up the back for a free, so he has to be pretty precise here.
And we've seen some rocks running pretty straight here too, so got to be careful. They got the outside sweeper on.
It looks like it's nose to me. Great shot from Glenn, and he even buries a piece behind.
So now Bradley's going to play the come around here. And this is Bradley's first shot
And you can see Bradley made a bit of a shrug walking down the ice here. He knows this is a big one. It's probably all he has right now.
You know what? I think I've heard this line before. It's good to be red right now.
It's good to be red. But it's not all for naught, or it's not all lost, you know. If he makes a good one here, you try and bite the top button. You're not going to get buried, but you'll leave a piece of it that if Glenn were to chase it, probably jams.
We do have an update for you from Sheet E. They did finally put up that end score. The Curl Scouts scored one, and it is now a 4-2 lead for B Room 1221 in the E event final.
Bradley's released his rock. The early indication from the sweepers is that they think it's all there. Asking for it to slow down with the hand signals.
Sometimes it works.
I have to believe it.
You have to believe. Oh, and it's heavy from Bradley. I don't know if I can count this high, Travis. There's a lot of red in the house.
There's a lot of red. All 7 rocks so far this end are in play with the one lonely guard. Glenn's going to be looking here to throw on top 12 with the intern and block the draw path for Bradley, and I don't know what he will have to even score.
Yeah. Yep. We do have a score update for you from Sheet D as well, which is the C event final. Hussein has scored a deuce, and they are now down 5-2 without the hammer, playing the 6th end.
And in the game on Sheet B that I was describing earlier, it did look like the Dildo Boys were going to score multiple points, but only got a steal of 1 in the 4th end. So now it's a tied game 2-2 with Nagel after 4.
Glenn Newell's last shot here, trying to put this in the rings. This looks light, though. Is this even over the hog line, Travis? I don't think it is. Oh, it is, just over the hog line. So it throws another wrinkle into Bradley's draw path, but Bradley does have a draw to the button here against 6 for 1.
Yeah, I don't think, I mean, all things considered, Newell and the team are sitting great, but I don't think Glenn will be happy on that one. This is more so just in your line sight, but not really in play here. So Bradley can still easily get to the pin if he needed it.
He just threw this path as well. Just needs to make a little adjustment.
Oh. This one is not close, unfortunately.
I think we're going to see handshakes come out.
And we do.
Handshakes on Sheet C as Newell gets a fistful of red. In that one, they score 6. Fistful of dicks. Scores 1 total in the game. It is an 11-1 final score here in your B event final from the Do It on the Ice Bonspiel. That is going to be it for us from this draw. There's some good games going on out there, but there will be more good games in about 2 hours' time when we go live for the finals of the Canadian Pride Curling Championships. We're also going to have the bronze medal game on, as well as 4 other Do It on the Ice finals. So hopefully you'll be with us in 2 hours' time. What am I trying to say here? It's been a great time broadcasting. For Travis and myself, Stu, it's a pleasure. And we'll talk to you at 6:15.
Stay classy, San Diego.